Thank you, Melissa. Before I begin, I would certainly like to thank the Fine Arts Society, all the members, including Sean Dougherty and Dale Bray, who both spent quite a bit of time helping me with the logistics of this evening. So I'm very grateful for that. Thank you all for being here this evening. Think about what you're doing. It's Friday night, and you've come to listen to an economist give a lecture. That means one of two things is true. Either your lives are rather empty, or Steubenville is a very dull place. Or is it a little of both? Whatever the reason, I'm happy that you are here. I could not give a last lecture here at Franciscan without thanking the Franciscan friars for the wonderful university they've created. Their selfless sacrifices, hard work, and vision have culminated in a university that serves to build the mind, body, and spirit of its students in a way that no other university can. These wonderful men can never be thanked enough. I have been truly blessed to have spent the last 4 decades of my life among them, and I'm also thankful for all the valuable friends and colleagues I have known over that time. The peaceful life of the mind has given me a reward that few outside the academy can truly appreciate, and I am deeply grateful to the Franciscan Fathers for providing me with the opportunity to live that life. Also, I could not give my last lecture without mentioning my dear wife, Ginny, who has been tolerating my economics lectures just about every evening at the dinner table over the past 39 years. Because of this, she could probably give this lecture as well as I. However, if she was giving this lecture, because she's a former English teacher, you would have the added benefit of a talk with no split infinitives, dangling participles, or misplaced modifiers. The first economics lesson she learned when we first met was that a refrigerator is a durable good. She used to be fond of telling our friends that the only thing she knew about economics was that her refrigerator was a durable good. However, the real enduring durable good, over time, has turned out to be not the refrigerator, but the two of us together, who have far outlasted any refrigerator we have ever known. Maybe I should stop right there. I began teaching here in the fall of 1971 at a salary of $7,600 a year. This is the way people dressed back then. I'm proud to say that I never did. I estimate that I have taught over 8,000 students over my career and have taught 19 different courses, both on the undergraduate and graduate levels. 3 of my former students are now members of my own department, Dr. Tom Kelly, Dr. Rob McDonald, and Dr. Mike Welker. In addition, I am proud to say that over a dozen current support staff and professional staff members have been my students. So I suspect that my ideas on economics have been fairly influential on this little campus. I also estimate that over that span of 39 years, I have thrown into the wastebasket, without ever having read them, the minutes to nearly 400 faculty meetings. In recent years, I simply deleted email. Having to sit through a faculty meeting and then also choosing to read about it has never seemed to me to be a rational activity. I have also been truly blessed to have taught so many wonderful students over the past 39 years. I've had students from all over the United States and the world, from Africa to South America and Asia and New Zealand. I once had a student from Kathmandu. Isn't there a song about that? I've got to get back to Kathmandu. How does one get back to Kathmandu? Or more pointedly, how does one get from Kathmandu to Steubenville? In the world of economics, the idea of incentives is a central concept. People respond to incentives, and the entire study of economics is an analysis of how these incentives shape human behavior. Years ago, in my current economics problems class, the subject of crime came up, and I asked the students how incentives might be used to reduce crime. One student in the class was from Saudi Arabia, and I asked him how many murders occurred in his country each year. His reply was that there were about 7 or 8 per year. Why so few, I asked, pointing out that New York City has that many murders on a typical Friday night. His answer was matter of fact. In a calm tone, he said, "In my country, if you commit murder, we cut off your head." At that moment, the whole class fully understood the notion that incentives really, really matter. And I suspect the lesson has remained with them over the ensuing years. It certainly has for me. My plan this evening is to show you a few images and photos that can teach us a lot of how the subject of economics can be used to understand the world around us. Here's a photo of a group of students in Lagos, Nigeria. As you can see, these young men are studying, but they're studying under the streetlights. They're studying under the streetlights because the electricity in their homes is either non-existent or unreliable. However, if you had the opportunity to talk to these young men, it is a good bet that you would discover that most, if not all of them, own cell phones. So why is it that they have access to the latest technology of the 21st century, but do not have access in their homes to a 100-year-old technology? The answer has to do with rules. The rules or laws of their country support an inefficient government-run electric company while keeping out private companies who may want to enter the market. So if we change the rules, we change the outcome. Allowing competition to flourish in the market for electricity would benefit not only these young men, but millions of others in their country who would now have the freedom that reliable energy provides for the rest of us. This concept applies to other areas of our lives as well. For example, we could change the rules for health care, education, illegal drugs or illegal immigration, change the rules or the structure of the market, and the outcome changes for the better. With respect to health care, change the structure of the market so that people pay more of their health care expenses out of their own pockets. Change the rules so that people have better access to health insurance, and the result will change. With respect to education, change the rules by giving the collected tax revenue not to the school but to the parents, who could then choose a school of their liking, and competition will improve the outcome. With respect to most illegal activities, such as drugs or immigration, find a way to make them legal, and the outcome changes for the better. Eliminate the minimum wage, and millions of teenagers would have access to job training that the minimum wage now denies them. Changing the rules so that the marketplace plays a bigger, more important role almost always changes the outcome for the better. The great benefit of the marketplace is that it brings about peace, whereas government prohibition creates violence and chaos. I always tell my students that if they want to find a peaceful place, go to Walmart. At Walmart, the store is full of hundreds of people minding their own business and allowing you to mind yours. Millions of decisions had to be made in order to get the goods into that supercenter and determine what price to place on them. And millions of decisions are made each day by the customers on what to buy and what price to pay. All this is done in an atmosphere of peace and harmony. The free market brings about what Friedrich Hayek called spontaneous order. Consider the Walmart Supercenter. Wouldn't it work better if shopping was better controlled? Shouldn't customers be assigned certain times when they're allowed to shop? Shouldn't someone in the store direct people to move in a clockwise or counterclockwise direction so that shopping carts wouldn't collide? Shouldn't there be a one-way aisles and traffic cops directing us to the most efficient checkout line? Of course not. We would all hate that way of shopping and never shop there again. What we do, though, is that we create our own spontaneous order through our freedom to choose, and in so doing, create a peaceful place to do our shopping. Compare that spontaneous order in the business world to that of politics. Not so peaceful. These people are not minding their own business, they're minding yours, usually to the detriment of your wealth and freedom. When was the last time you saw a clenched fist at Walmart? The marketplace provides us with peace and harmony, something we take for granted with each trip we make to the mall or to the grocery store.